at it again, and we have one with Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk. Let's dive in.
Like, I'm not homophobic, but I'm just saying I've been researching Black Lives Matter, and I've been understanding the politics and how they're funded by white liberals. And recently, I've been feeling like they're white liberals in blackface because they're white liberals.
That's interesting because I have asked some black people, hey, have you ever donated to BLM? Overwhelmingly, no. So who actually was donating to BLM? How did they get all of this money or all of the money that they spent? And yeah, did we ever even figure out where like that 61 million or whatever it was like went to? Because wasn't there like 60 million or something that just disappeared? Well, some of it went to buying mansions, but those mansions didn't cost 61 million unless there's houses that we don't really know about. Maybe that is the case. Y'all let me know in the comment section though. Y'all let me know. I just recalled that I was like, hold on, did we ever figure out where all that money went to? I don't think we did though. Some of it went to the mansions, but where'd the rest of it go? I know she sent like $1 million of it to her ex-boyfriend or her baby daddy or something for a consulting fee, but still, that doesn't still account for all of that money though. But anyway,
Feeling like they're white liberals in blackface because they're white liberals in blackface. When I say that, it's because the white liberals is all about feminism, LGBT. White liberals don't really care about black people.
That's
I
correct.
realize white liberals don't really care about me, bro.
That's correct.
I'm off the plantation, bro. I'm off the plantation, bro. I escaped the plantation, bro. I'm empowered. They don't want me to have power. They want to keep me dependent. But I'm realizing this. They put white liberal ideas.
He called him like Kanye. And you know, something that I have been noticing though, you know, throughout this journey is that, you know, one side of the political aisle does want to keep people dependent upon the government. They want to keep people where they are and just spoon feed them everything. Get them used to, hey, we'll provide everything you need. Just sit back, relax, just chill, which is kind of weird. And it lets me know something, and that is they want the ultimate control. Because when you have a population that is dependent upon you, then you obviously have all the control. If they're dependent upon you to eat, if they're dependent upon you to keep a roof over their head, guess what they're going to do? They're going to capitulate to whatever it is that you need them to do. And currently, it is just votes. We'll provide you with food on the table and a roof over your head just as long as you give us your vote, you know? And like I said, this is something that I've been noticing throughout this journey is that, yeah, he's definitely right on that last statement. But let's continue on.
Dependent. But I'm realizing this. They put white liberal ideas, LGBT, women, non-binary, white feminism, all that Hillary Clinton stuff, put it in blackface. Because if we say it, it's going to be too crazy. So then Black Lives Matter, it started by 3 lesbian women. It's not really supporting black families. My question is, what do you think that has to say about the movement that they don't mention anything about black fathers on the website?
I'll tell you what it means.
Nothing about.
They don't mention anything about black fathers on the BLM website. That's an interesting statement as well, because that is one of the biggest problems. One of the biggest problems you just don't acknowledge. All of this money that you got and you never helped out the black community. It was supposed to be Black Lives Matter. So Black Lives Matter is as long as, you know, it's a white person that did something to a black person. But in terms of, hey, when I get all of these donations, when I get all of this money, we don't care about black lives. What is that? Very interesting, huh?
Black fathers.
First off, if I can, what it means, right?
Nothing about black fathers.
First off, if I can just say, woo, another one off the plantation. They got a problem, and this is how it starts, right? So this is how it starts. So what he said in the beginning was really interesting. Is he said originally I liked Black Lives Matter. Me too. Why would I be opposed to that? Black Lives Matter, right? Of course they matter. So you have to understand about the left. They are incredibly good when it comes to linguistics. They use euphemisms, right? Planned Parenthood. Of course I want parenthood to be planned. Oh, by the way, we're actually killing 800 black babies every single day. Eeks, you know? So this is what they do. They manipulate you by using a term that no person in their right mind would be against, right? Who would be against Planned Parenthood? Parenthood? Who would be against Black Lives Mattering? But the truth is, when you do a deep dive and you start to look at the finances, you're exactly right. People that are in control, Black Lives Matter is a political arm of the Democratic Party. Call them what they are. And their idea is to keep black people, as you just mentioned, enslaved and dependent via their emotion and their anger, right? So what I would say to you first off is to encourage you to keep going and to keep doing a deep dive, because that's how it started for me.
Hold on, say that again,
enslaved
Candace.
and dependent via their emotion and their anger, right?
Keep them dependent and enslaved via their emotion and anger. And this is something that I've mentioned in several videos recently. What have we seen time and time again when big issues come up? What has one side of the political aisle done every time? Instead of going to their office, getting some paperwork filed, putting their brains together to come up with some type of legislation, you know what they do? They get people riled up and angry. They're out in the streets in front of all the cameras, yelling and screaming, talking about, hey, in terms of Maxine Waters, hey, let's make sure whenever these people are out anywhere, we let them know that they aren't welcome anywhere. We get them out of there. Talking about harassing folks, riling them up. That's exactly what they have done. So, I mean, listen, I can't refute that. Candace is 100% correct, according to what I have just seen. And like I said, I haven't been, deep diving into, politics for a very, very long time. But just from the limited, amount of time that I have been diving into it, that is exactly what I'm seeing. And it's wild because there was a video that we checked out. Was that yesterday? Yesterday or the day before yesterday, where actually I think it was yesterday. It was a Larry Elder video where he did a deep dive on the many, many years this same tactic has just been used over and over and over again. And it's crazy. It still works to a certain extent. It's wild. Anyway.
As you just mentioned, enslaved and dependent via their emotion and their anger, right? So what I would say to you first off is to encourage you to keep going and to keep doing a deep dive, because that's how it started for me. Right? It was one thing that didn't make sense. It was this constant narrative being shoved down my throat. But when I deep dived on these organizations and looked at who was funding them, it never really lined up to the things that would make the black community better. You mentioned that that you realize that they don't promote straight black men, right? They never talk about the things that matter, black fathers in the home. That's because they don't want black fathers in the home. Make
Bingo.
no mistake. So congratulations to you. Keep digging. And can somebody at Turning Point USA get his stuff so we can hire him? Right?
My guy just got a job right there on the spot. You love to see it. Got a job right there on the spot. So, a very interesting look at what it means to be awake and not woke. To say the least, right? I'm off the plantation. That's obviously something that we've heard Candace Owens talk about. And it's a very interesting statement because it is almost as if some individuals from a certain political party do want, minorities to be on the proverbial plantation still. Maybe not necessarily on the actual plantation, but in terms of just being dependent upon the system to provide everything that we need and want. And I spoke about that earlier. It's crazy how that works out. I remember there was a video that we had checked out where, actually there's been several videos that we've checked out where there's a white person trying to convince a black person that they are oppressed and they're in a bad position, and it's just like so weird. Like, why are you trying to convince someone? If you truly love this individual, why are you trying to convince them that they are oppressed, that they should be sad or mad at the world? Why are you trying to convince them of that? If you truly care about this individual, that sounds weird, right? That doesn't really make any sense to me, at least. It makes zero sense. If anything, it's doing more harm to that individual than any good. And like I said earlier, it goes back to the Larry Elder Uncle T documentary, where the individual is choking you and you're telling them, hey, you're choking me, but they're saying back to you, but I love you. It just doesn't make any type of sense. And that's the type of situations that, we are seeing play out in society today. Actually, I think I have another video that is along that same line that one of you guys sent me. So we may be checking out another one, one of these wild videos here soon. But anyway, you guys can let me know what you thought about all of this in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. And if you would like to support the channel more than you already have, my PayPal link is in the description box below. Peace and love. I'm out.